seated. Please remind you once again to turn off your phones, or there'll be a $10 donation to the Deputy Dean's Retirement Fund. Good morning and welcome to the 2026 graduation ceremony of Asia Pacific International College, the College of Health Sciences and the Higher Education Leadership Institute. My name is Professor Gary Day. I'm the Deputy Dean Programs and I'm your Master of Ceremonies for today. It's wonderful to see you all here. Some faces are familiar to me. Many are not, but congratulations, and I also welcome your families. Before we commence today's proceedings, I would like to acknowledge and pay respects to the traditional custodians of this land, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and pay respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. As we share our knowledge, teaching and learning and research practices within APIC, CHS and HELI, may we also pay respect to the knowledge embedded forever within the Aboriginal custodianship of the country. We are gathered in this magnificent hall today to celebrate the academic achievements and professional growth of our graduating students. To begin our celebration, I invite Dr. Scott Dixon, the Chief Executive Officer, Private Higher Education, to officially welcome our distinguished guests, the graduands and family and friends and educators and staff at today's ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, colleagues, families, friends, and most importantly, our graduates, welcome to the 2026 graduation ceremony for APIC and for HELI. Today marks an important milestone in the culmination of years of hard work, commitment, perseverance, and personal sacrifice. It also a particularly significant occasion for HELI as we proudly celebrate the very first graduating class from the Master of Research Award. Each of our graduates has made a significant investment in their education, professional development and future. That journey, however, is rarely undertaken alone. Behind every graduate are family members, friends, mentors and supporters who have offered encouragement, patience and a belief along the way. To our graduates and to everyone who has supported them in reaching this moment, congratulations, and today belongs to you. Graduation is not only a celebration of what has been achieved, but also of what lies ahead. The knowledge, skills and confidence developed throughout your studies will become the foundation for new opportunities, challenges and continued growth. We are also proud to celebrate the remarkable diversity of our graduating cohort, representing a range of countries, cultures, experiences and perspectives. This diversity enriches our institutions and reflects the communities in which we live and work. As you move to the next stage of your journey, I encourage all graduates to continue embracing that diversity. Approach others with curiosity, respect and compassion, regardless of their background, culture or beliefs. These qualities will serve you just as powerfully as the academic knowledge that you have gained. On behalf of everyone at APIC and HELI and the parent organisation, the Education Centre of Australia, I wish you every success in the path that you choose to pursue. You leave us today with knowledge and capabilities you did not possess when you began your studies. Use them confidently, responsibly and with purpose. Continue to learn, remain open to new possibilities and never underestimate the impact you can have on your profession, your community, and those around you. Enjoy this very special occasion, be proud of how far you have come, and be excited about where you may go next. Once again, congratulations to all the graduating class of 2026. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you for those words of welcome, Scott. It's now on to our occasional speaker. The occasional address today will be given by Helen Zahos. His career has been shaped by service in some of the world's most challenging environments. A humanitarian, emergency nurse and paramedic, she has volunteered across the globe from conflict zones in Ukraine and Iraq to disaster responses in Nepal and the Philippines and the Syrian refugee crisis across the borders of Greece, caring for some of the world's most vulnerable communities. Her work spans emergency departments in major tertiary hospitals, remote Indigenous communities across Australia, and disaster responses both locally and internationally. Helen has supported refugees and people seeking asylum and is a strong advocate for underprivileged communities whose voices are often unheard. Helen's voice has reached the global stage, speaking in New York City at the NGO Forum of the United Nations Commission on the Status of Women, in Geneva at the SDG Health Summit alongside the World Health Assembly, and in Samoa at the roundtable discussions during the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. Her humanitarian efforts have been recognised both locally and internationally. So please give a warm welcome to our keynote speaker today, Helen Zahos.
I'm exhausted just listening to that list, Gary. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this graduation ceremony. I'm looking out at the crowd right now and feeling very proud for all of you. You all look amazing. And to all the families that are here, you must be so exceptionally proud of the people that are graduating today. Today is more than a ceremony. Today's a celebration of courage. Courage for having the ambition, setting the goal, and challenging yourselves. What makes today's celebration especially meaningful is the incredible diversity represented in this very room. When I asked about today and who was graduating, I was told that people here today come from India, Nepal, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Colombia, Brazil, Malaysia, Philippines, Indonesia, and various countries across Africa. You've come from different cultures, different countries, you share different languages and beliefs, and through your education and at this college, you have been brought together by shared commitment to learning, personal growth, and making a positive contribution to society. Today's a celebration of resilience. For some of you, this journey was straightforward. For others, you faced unique challenges, obstacles, and made sacrifices or had moments of self-doubt. Some of you have had to travel from across the globe to come here, and even that alone is a feat in itself. The challenge of overcoming fears, coming to a new country, sharing languages and cultures that you're not comfortable with, that you should be commended on. I'm really feeling proud of all of you today for being here. When I was being introduced just now, you heard a little bit about me, but what you don't know, yes, I have education through my nursing and my paramedicine, which opened up many possibilities, and I've travelled the world. But what you don't know, and I will share this story, is that I didn't actually get into uni. When I finished school, I didn't get enough marks actually to get in. So I had applied to several universities. But you heard all of the achievements that Gary mentioned just now. And pretty soon we'll be having some awards being handed out to people that, academically did really, really well here. And we celebrate you. But today I want to reach out to those people who might be sitting there going, do I really deserve to be here? I kind of just scraped through and just passes. And I'm living proof and standing before you, sharing that, yeah, you can, it doesn't matter how you got here and how you made it here today, it's what you do with it moving forward. So I will share a little story with you. When I didn't get into uni, I begged the university to let me in. And when I first arrived, the lecturers, and this is no, offence to any of the lecturers in this room today, but within 6 months of starting my university course, she pulled me aside and she said, Helen, you need to choose something else. You're not going to make it. You're not going to make it as a nurse or a paramedic. You're just not writing the essays the way that we're supposed to academically. You're just not going to cut it. But for me, nursing is a passion, and it was my purpose. And so I persevered and I kept going on. I kept scraping through on past concededs. I don't even know if that's a mark nowadays, but 47 out of 100, or just scraping in, just scraping by. But for me, the passion and the purpose of becoming a nurse and helping people was more important, so I kept fighting and I kept going on. About a year after I graduated, I did get pulled in when she told me that I should quit. About a year after I graduated, and I only scraped in, I was driving into the city on a Friday night, and I noticed a big accident happen up ahead. And there was no ambulance there yet, but there was some police and firemen. And I hopped out, and I found out that a woman had been crossing the road and she'd been hit by 2 cars, so she was really critically injured. And so I was in high heels and a little black dress on my way out into town, and there I was on the side of the road, helping do all that I could to help this woman with all of the skills that I learned through my nursing training in college and university. And amongst all the chaos when I was treating this woman, I had put a line in and I had a bag of saline there, and I was reaching out to just somebody, a bystander. And as I reached out and looked up, the person that I was handing that bag of saline to help, hold the bag of saline there for me, was actually the lecturer that had told me that I should quit. And it turns out she was actually driving the vehicle that hit the woman that was involved in that accident. So for me, that was a bit of a moment where I proved to myself, I think, more than anything, that you can go on. You don't have to listen necessarily, and I'm guided by the strength. If it wasn't for that lecturer pulling me aside, she's the one that actually pushed me forward to keep going and fighting for what I really, really wanted. Now, volunteering in disasters, refugee crises, remote villages in Africa and conflict regions. I've travelled the world. I've participated in high-level meetings, and I still pinch myself sometimes. I have many, many moments. I've had experiences where I can't believe that my degree and my career got me to these places. Speaking to defence ministers and disaster specialists in the Ukraine and about the placement of the field hospital, or meeting with commanders of the army in a conflict, sitting at a table surrounded by men with guns, German Shepherd dogs, in a warehouse negotiating the distribution of supplies. Or when I've approached government ministers at a hotel swimming pool in Kenya, begging them to be able to get this child with burns out of the country and get the funding for that. Or when a colleague that I mentored once reached out to me and said, Helen, I remember your words when you were mentoring me, and now that I have a student, I'm sharing that knowledge with them. And I have moments where I pinch myself, even simply holding someone's hand when they're passing away and taking those last breaths, and being able to share in those vulnerable moments. My learnings through uni, gave me so many opportunities that I'm so very grateful for. But it took me a long time to realise that graduating wasn't the end, it was actually the beginning. At my graduation, I felt like I had made it to the summit of Mount Everest. But in actual fact, I'd only made it to base camp. So I don't want to let you all down, but I know that you've achieved something today and you feel like you've made it to the top and you've made it there, but really, this is just the beginning for you. You've got so many opportunities. It's not that bit of paper that you're holding in your hand, it's what you do with it moving forward. My nursing degree wasn't just a tick-the-box exercise to get a job that I wanted, nor was it a piece of paper that I graduated from university with to proudly hang on my wall. It's what I did with that knowledge and passion long after that graduation ceremony. Today is a celebration of achievement. You completed degrees in information technology, project management, business administration, health management, and research. These fields shape nations. They build industries, they strengthen health systems, they create innovation, and they change lives. Collectively, you all have the power to change the world. No pressure, okay? It doesn't matter how you got here, the point is that you succeeded and you made it. Now, a few years ago, I was in one more quick story, but I was working in a remote community, and there was this really fit guy that would go jogging every day, he'd run a marathon, and I said, Marcus, what are you doing? He said, I'm training to climb Mount